Hello, my name is Christian Abson, and the article I'll be presenting is titled Associations Between Parenting Styles and Child Behavior. This research was conducted by Jason C. Hunt and is being presented by me, Christian Abson. So the problem statement of this study is the fact that ADHD is diagnosed in children more frequently than adults, and most likely those children carry that diagnosis into adulthood. And besides genetics, there are several environmental factors that can help or can cause the development of ADHD. Parents, for example, are a big part of that environmental factor that can speed up or slow down the development of ADHD. Parents are involved in all aspects of the treatment. Was to look at genetic environmental factors that contribute to developing ADHD. Researchers also wanted to identify relationships between parenting styles, homework problems, and ADHD symptoms. The literature review was broken down into 3 sections. The first section of literature review was based on parenting styles, and all the review talked about authoritative parenting and permissive parenting as the major parenting styles that are associated with ADHD symptoms, homework problems. The second part of literature review was the controversy behind different types of ADHD treatment, as far as biological treatments where children are diagnosed and are prescribed stimulants. Even though stimulants have been proven to be fairly effective in controlling symptoms of ADHD, once that medication is out of the system, the symptoms return and the medication has no effect on the environment. Finally, the research was broken down to a third section, which was about effective parenting styles and ways that certain parenting styles can help with the treatment of ADHD. There were 3 major hypotheses associated with this research article. The first hypothesis was that children of authoritative parents, those parents who are high in demandedness as well as high in responsiveness to their children, it was hypothesized that those children or those parents, their parenting style will be associated with lower presence of ADHD symptoms of inattentiveness and hyperactivity. It was also hypothesized that that parenting style will be associated with less homework problems. The third hypothesis was that there would be significant differences between the demographic groups, such as high class, low class, ethnic groups, males, females, and other demographics. As far as methods, the participants for this study were 66 parents, 31 who had male children and 35 who had female children. All the participants were from Philadelphia and South New Jersey, and the sampling style used was snowball sampling, meaning flyers and packets were passed out to participants who might have been interested, and those participants would also tell other people or other potential participants about the study, and so on and so forth until it snowballed into a sample size of 66. The measures used were the Parental Authority Questionnaire Revised, or the PAQR. This was a 30-item assessment used to assess parenting styles on a 5-point Likert scale. The parenting styles associated with the assessment were authoritative, authoritarian, and permissive. The second measure was the ADHD rating scale, which was an 18-item measure that assessed the presence and severity of ADHD symptoms. The third measure was a homework problems checklist. This 20-item measure assessed the difficulty in completing homework at home. And finally, the fourth measure was a demographic questionnaire. The procedures of this study were to pass out the demographic questionnaires, where parents would take the questionnaires as well as the packet with the PAQR, the ADHD checklist, and the homework checklist. They would go home, they would complete the questionnaires, and the entire packet. Parents with authoritative parenting styles had male children with higher inattentive scores. Authoritative parents also predicted a higher combined symptoms of inattentiveness as well as hyperactivity. Finally, authoritative parents had higher homework problems. So contrary to what they hypothesized, they thought that authoritative parenting would be associated with lower scores in everything. However, authoritative parenting style was associated with higher scores of inattentiveness in male students, higher scores of inattentiveness and hyperactivity in students in general, and the authoritative parenting style was also associated with higher homework problems. There's a chart where you can see male ADHD attentiveness is highest with authoritative parents, as well as male hyperactivity, male combined, female inattentive, female hyperactivity, and female combined. All are higher underneath the parenting style of authoritative. This chart is the breakdown of homework problems by gender. Again, you can see the authoritative parenting style is associated with higher homework problems for males as well as for female students, but there was only significance found for homework problems amongst male students with authoritative parents. The limitations they discussed were the sample size. They were all authoritative parenting. Another limitation was that most parents were filling out the scales according to what they thought the researcher wanted to hear. So there was an inaccurate and overwhelming amount of authoritative parents. Another limitation that they talked about was the fact that they assumed there was only one caregiver. They didn't take into consideration that many children receive their care from multiple people. A lot of people nowadays live in mixed families, and it's very seldom that there is just one solo caregiver. Researchers also suggested future research. They thought that a more finite look at the amount of authoritative factors would yield significant results, meaning they thought that if they play with the amount of responsiveness and the amount of demandedness within parenting styles, within authoritative parenting styles, they thought that that would have an effect on the outcomes of this research. They also proposed that there be research done on combined parenting styles, meaning how students may have an authoritative father and a permissive mother. That second caregiver, that second parenting style was completely looked over in this research study, which they highlighted in the limitations. So to conclude it, the research here did not support the hypothesis that the researchers hypothesized at the beginning. It's hard to generalize the results from this study because the fact that most parents identify as authoritative, when that is not the case in the world, is not most parents in the population of parents with children with ADHD are authoritative. So in the end, their results again did not support their hypothesis, but future recommendations for future research may yield results that are both more accurate and more generalizable.